I'm really curious. I want to see. I would like to see Test do a run because I like the way they fit there. Um, it sucks that they had Mollis that went down real fast, but they could do really good. Still a lot of matches left for tomorrow for sure. Was it tomorrow? Is it all the matches that are left for just tomorrow matches? Is that correct?
No, we have 2 more today. Let me get the schedule, and then I'll go through tomorrow's. We have a few matches already ready to go for tomorrow after this, but first we have Socket Closed and Make 'em Are Great Again today, and then the Quantum Kestrels versus Coop Boys left. Yes, those 2 matches will be shortly.
So, let's see. So Socket Close. Did they get a buy?
No, I think Make 'em Are is ready as well. They'll be here in 1 minute.
So if I remember correctly, Make Amar was the all Amar team.
Yes,
Correct,
that was
yes.
the Omen Mauler Harbinger, I believe.
Yeah, was it Harbinger, Omen, double Mauler?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good setup, and I'm really curious to see. Do you remember what Socket Closed brought against Eve University?
No. Is the
I'm
answer to
really
that one, I
curious
believe.
to see. But alright,
I don't have it.
That's alright. But here's the question that we want to put, because that's the next match, correct? The Socket Close versus Make Amar Great Again.
Yes.
Now, Make Amar Great Again, since they did bring that all Amar team, and now from watching all these matches and seeing how strong a kiting team is, do you think that they might switch their style play and go kiting? Or if they do bring their Amar setup again, would that be a problem if they end up facing a kiting team from Socket Closed? Because I think the Amar team would have quite a bit of trouble against a really good kiting setup. Especially if that kiting setup either brings tracking disruptor or damps against a laser brawler team. Because lasers can project.
Especially with Scorch. Scorch is the best ammo in the game.
Scorch is great. I would love to see what Socket Close. I haven't seen them at all today, and I want to see how these teams are going to adapt from seeing all the other teams, their setups, what they brought. I think I would be a little worried if I was an all Amar setup against a kiting team, though your chances of winning are still pretty good being an all Amar set, because you got the boost from the Harbinger, have the projection. If you're going up against like a carries of Wallace, and that has to be like a big priority of yours to try to get that off. Ooh, and look at this setup that's coming on. You guys are gonna be in for a little treat from the Socket Closed. I like this mix-up. Awesome. So it looks like Socket Closed has brought kind of a mixed team in a sense of the use of damps. Because most of the teams we've seen lately have used damps in kiting setups, but they're bringing it with a brawly setup. So the idea of damps in a brawly setup, if you guys don't know, is you're trying to damp the enemy team. That forces them to try to get damage. If they want to put damage on the enemy team, they have to come in close. So by mixing damps with a brawl team, you're forcing the enemy to come in close if they want to do any type of damage.
Right. I've also seen it if you can do maybe damp out their screen. But it's going to be interesting to see what comes up against them.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that could work against a kiting setup, where you damp out the ships from the kiting setup and force those ships to get in close, which makes it a lot easier for tackle and the big DPS to get on. But I just don't feel like Make a Mark Great Again will bring a kiting setup. I think they're just going to bring the same thing. I don't know yet. I think they're going to bring the same thing that they brought, and it's just going to be a brawl fest, which I would love to see. If they do bring a kiting setup, I would like to see how much of an effect this carrier will make on the team. They should be landing here very shortly, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Is this an Agony Empire team? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, definitely a team of very skilled pilots.
And tournament pedigree, so they've been around the block.
And
as an alliance for sure.
Make Amara Great Again, led by Damesh Kadesh from Mar Championship, also with tournament experience.
Oh yes, and Damesh Kadesh, really good pilot. Really strong team during the Mar tournament. Try to remember if we lost to them. I don't remember if the team I was in lost or won, but I'm sure it was an extremely tough match because every match I had in the Mar tournament was extremely tough.
And here they come.
So we have the Make a Mark Great Again team landing on the field.
With exactly what you were saying. Looks like they're same setup. Not everybody's on grid, but here they come.
Yeah, so they're bringing looks like the same exact things with the Harbinger. All we see is a Harbinger, Omen, Mauler, but I am expecting another Omen and Mauler to land on the field.
Interesting though, last time they brought it in at 0, this time they brought it in at 30. Bit of a change.
Change of heart. So here's where the carries is going to play a huge factor in this. Is that it's a frig. It's going to lock all of the Make a Mark Great Again team first. And it's going to be able, what it should do is instead of doing the range script, it should do the lock time script. And by creating that delay and them being able to lock the enemy ships, this is going to be a DPS race.
Right.
So if the Sockets Close team can get on top of the Make a Mark Great Again team and start applying DPS a few seconds before the Make a Mark Great Again team, you can see this match swinging their way.
So, if you had to put money on it, which team are you going to call?
I'm going to go ahead and put money on the Socket Close, just because this carries dampening the ships could make a huge difference.
I'm going to go with that too.
Match is about to start.
And there goes the match start. So there go the bursts, and there goes the Punisher. We should be seeing those Kiri's damps landing any second.
Oh,
and there they are.
Are we showing this on the stream as well?
And immediately the Omen and the Punisher taking the damage. This Agony Punisher might be going down quickly.
Oh wow. Yeah, this Punisher is taking quite a bit damage, but it is
But
very
so is
tanky.
the Omen. I don't know if that's a trade I would take in a setup where we're brawling each other. Oh no, the Omen seems to have repped. Or is getting reps.
Yeah, now the carries is no longer a factor in this match.
And just
Everyone has a
covered
lock.
tons of EC drones out as well as damage drones. And a second Punisher about to go down.
Yeah, so the Brutix of Yusu Lee stayed quite aback for a bit, and trying to see if he's rail. Looks like he's rail fit, so that's why he stayed back instead of going
And
the
it
blaster
looks like
fit.
they're gonna trade a Brutix for an Omen unless this hull really holds. Which
There's a lot of
in that
damage.
case I'm gonna call it for against Agony.
Yeah, I
Which
wonder,
is the
like,
opposite of what we thought.
yeah, because like it did come down to what the carries would do and how much they'll delay the locks, which it looks like it didn't do too much at all. And those Punishers went down fast because those Punishers really didn't have to go in at all. It was getting the Brutixes in that mattered. But it looks like the Maker Margret team is in a comfortable position. This Omen is having no problem whatsoever staying up.
And he might be able to tank once they get down to one Brutix.
Yeah, I feel the big mistake was going with these rail Brutixes because you're not getting the same kind of DPS.
And the ammo changes on blasters and railguns versus the ammo changes on lasers is just a completely different world.
Yeah, because like the carries, he is like 100. I don't know why the carries is like even so far as it is, but he
is out actually.
Yeah, the initial damps is the only job the carries had. After that, it's no longer a factor in this match.
You had one job.
You had one simple, quick job. I don't know how it played out, but it looks like it didn't do what it was supposed to do, or it just wasn't that much of a factor because Brutixes are easily locked because they are big ships. Looks like the Punishers got locked really quickly, which surprises me because they're frigates, and if you're getting sensor damped, you're gonna take quite a bit of time to lock a Punisher. Yeah, I feel the rail Brutixes were rail Venom was a mistake. I was really hoping to see this carries use the carries lock time damp. And Sniper Jackdaws taking down the stream once again. Well done by making Margaret again. They know what's up.
Yeah, that was definitely a good showing.
I'm really curious to see this carries fit. I was fully expecting it to be more of a factor, but it wasn't. Makes me sad because it is a really big strategy in the tournament when you used to be able to script the damps, and the fact that you would purposely censor damp the enemy logi with just a lock time damp. And then after, a minute or so, then you'll switch your scripted damp to the range damp, which will just screw enemy Lachi. He won't know what the hell's going on. So then after doing the range damp, you switch it back to the lock time damp. And he just makes his life hell to the point where that Logi's going to have to just be up close in the match if it wants to do anything.
So you bring up an interesting point with that is something we call RVB ECM because we don't allow ECM during our standard fights with each other because then they'd just be used every day and it would get a little boring. So RVB ECM is exactly that. You triple damp them with targeting range and then you switch to scan res. And it can absolutely disrupt a long range comp or their logi. It's a fun trick to play when you can only bring one or the other.
And very, very dirty. But
Yes,
fun. It's fun if used
be.
properly. An extremely powerful tool. That brings Socket closed down to the losers bracket to go up against Test Alliance Please Ignore, which we saw a very close match with them against the Kamikaze Dragoons. So I'm really curious to see what that matchup will be like, because they both teams, both Socket Close and Test Alliance Please Ignore, flew Brutix comp with Punishers, correct? Right? They both had Brutixes and 2 Punishers.